Hi, welcome to RIE Parent Infant Orientation, where we're going to discuss the educaring approach. We're going to go over kind of the basics of the approach. This is just an introduction. And I'm Melanie Snell. I'm a RIE associate. I'll be one of your speakers today.
And I'm Kira Salamatova, also RIE associate.
So we're just going to glance over some basics about the approach. First, we are RIE. That's RIE, it's pronounced rye like the bread. And it stands for Resources for Infant Educators. We're going to get into what that educator thing is in a minute. We are a nonprofit 501c3. We were co-founded by Magda Gerber and pediatric neurologist Tom Forrest in 1978. We want to talk to you and tell you about what our goals here at RIE are, what the basic idea of our organization is. The goal of the educaring approach is to raise authentic infants. So, Kira, this time I'm going to stop right there, right? To raise authentic infants. One, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that just be great to raise people who are okay with themselves? Who aren't always seeking validation somewhere else and trying to fit into somebody's mold? If we were just doing that, so nice, that idea. But we're also thinking about these other characteristics, authentic infants who are all of these other characteristics. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about how we came up with these characteristics. So our founder, Magda Gerber, would say, parenting is an impossible task. So there's that. Parenting is an impossible task because we are taking all of our knowledge from the past and applying it to a great unknown future. We do not know what the world will be like for our children when they've grown up. No idea. But what she came up with was a list of characteristics that would be good regardless of what the future holds. Whatever this great unknown future is, it will be helpful to be confident, focused, peaceful, involved, cheerful, cooperative, resourceful, and self-initiating. That will help you in your life, regardless of what's happening, as well as to be competent, aware, secure, attentive, curious, exploring, interested, and inner directed. These things will be good for your child regardless of what happens. So our approach is focused on how do we care for children in a way that allows these characteristics to blossom, to grow, right? And I don't say to create these characteristics, Gary, because you've seen it. These babies are already curious. Day one, they want to know more about this world, right? We don't have to create that curiosity in them. But depending on how we care for them, we can stifle that curiosity or we can allow it to bloom and to blossom, right?
Yeah, I think finding the ability to see these qualities, this what's help the children to become authentic and confident and competent and self-motivated.
Yeah. Looking and seeing, oh, they are focused. Oh, I see. You're 4 months old and you're focused on, that napkin.
Yeah, playing with that napkin, and that's important at that moment.
I also want to point out that I do have 4 RIE raised children in my house right now, and it is not always peaceful in there. They are not always cheerful in that house. And at RIE, we want to allow and encourage the full spectrum of emotions that everyone has. But the idea with the peaceful and cheerful is that where you come back to? Is that your baseline for your authentic self? Do you, settle into a cheerful and peaceful state? And that's what we're looking for, I think. So the foundation of the educaring approach is respect. Boy, that seems like a lot. kind of a big idea, Kira.
Yeah.
Yeah. To look at our children with respect. You know, and it's so important because that is what if you have respect, if you see someone as valued and value their opinion and their perspective, then you can build on that. We have to have that to start with, right? To
Absolutely.
see them as competent, see them as valued, and that's where we stopped. It feels like too much to unpack in this short introduction.
Yeah, whenever I talk to other people about what I do and how I'm introducing respect to parents to their babies, they all kind of go blank because respect sounds good. So we're not going to argue with word respect. But what it means in a relationship with a very young child, little bit sometimes hard to imagine, and it's not very tangible. So today, hopefully, we will give few simple examples how we can not only talk about respect, but also demonstrate respect to very young babies.
Absolutely. And because it's foundational to us, it is more than just the approach. It's more than just the method. We really, because it's so foundational, it becomes our lifestyle, is to treat the children, treat infants and toddlers with respect. And really honestly, it once you start doing this with infants and toddlers, it goes out into the rest of your life. It goes out to your coworkers, it goes out to your adult relationships. It really becomes your lifestyle, I think.
It's absolutely changed my relationship with my own parents. So I think it's more like a style of life because it's about connection and relationship with other people, and of course with the young babies.
Yeah. And it's been kind of beautiful to make the foundation of pretty much all your important relationships respect. It makes kind of nice. So we have a story. There's a story that sort of demonstrates a respectful perspective.
Yeah. Every infant have a point of view. Sometimes it's really hard to comprehend this because what do you mean infant had a point of view? They don't talk yet. They maybe show us some emotions, but it's not always easy to see them. But imagine a situation that you are in a kitchen and you are cooking, cutting the carrot, and somebody very nice, very sweet to you, comes from your back, pick you up, you're still clutching the knife in your hand, and carry you to your wonderful, wonderful place where you really want to be, like a restaurant to eat, maybe. It's very hard to imagine a situation like this. Probably nobody will take you out of the kitchen into the car somewhere else unless they make a joke or something. But with the young babies, this is what unfortunately many grown-ups do. Yes, we do talk to infants and we let them know what we're going to do, but not really always. Sometimes when we're busy and the baby is laying down there and something is going on and we need him to be in a room, we just come and scoop and walk away. But infants do have point of view and they would love to know, and they will really appreciate to know what's going on and what's going to happen next.
Yeah. It is just a matter of respecting that perspective, their point of view. And the person who scooped you up and took you to the nice restaurant only had the best intentions. Just loves you so much and only wanted to do something that you would like. But that's not how you would like to be handled. That's not how you would like for it to happen. Right? So what we work on is that we don't only just have this theoretical respect, but how do we demonstrate it in our day-to-day, all the time, everyday interactions? Like you said, everything they're doing, whether they're not maybe chopping carrots with a sharp knife, but they're stacking blocks. And would I come up and scoop you up and take you to a diaper change without telling you I was going to take you? Maybe I should come around to the front and kneel down in front of you and wait for your tower of blocks to fall over. And then say, I'm ready to change your diaper. Right? And that's how we demonstrate respect in our day-to-day activities. So another thing that we really work on with RIE is to slow down. Our babies are not going at the breakneck pace that we go at. They're not just moving at that incredible pace. They're taking in so much stuff. So many things are new to them. The dog is barking. They don't know that's the dog. That's a new, different sound that I hadn't heard before. I was going to listen to that. You and I are just glancing by it. We knew it was the dog. Gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we really need to slow down, talk slowly, move slowly, and go at a more relaxed pace for them. So if you enroll in one of the parent-infant guidance classes, this is something that you'll see demonstrated, that you'll start to practice, that you'll hopefully practice in your home as well.
Yeah, children processing time is longer than the grown-ups. They will appreciate this attempt to go slow and talk slow.
Especially as when we start to communicate and ask them something, when we say, can I pick you up? Just giving them that little bit of time to go, okay.
This is what you want me to do.
Yes, right. And then they can engage in the activity more. I'm ready to do that with you, right? And so another thing that we're going to do regularly is talk to our babies and tell them what we're doing, right? Now, we don't mean yammer 24/7 at our babies. Like if your baby is stacking those blocks, I don't need to come over and talk to you while you're doing that necessarily. You didn't ask me over. You didn't want to share that with me. But when I do something with you, then I'm going to tell you what's happening. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to take you in to change your diaper. And then I'm going to talk to you about what I'm doing when I change your diaper. And this is so good on so many levels. I mean, this is one of the great things that I think we encourage parents to do with their children, for parents and for children, right? Starting with the children, one, they want to connect from day one. They want to connect. So we encourage talking to even very, very young children, because we don't know when they understand the words that we're saying, but we do know right away they want to start communicating. They want to start connecting. So if we're talking from the very beginning, then they'll pick it up as soon as they can. And we're finding out more and more that they're picking it up earlier and earlier than we thought before.
Yeah.
For my child, at 4 months, when I said to my daughter, I'm picking you up, she just got her arms ready, shoulders ready to. And I thought, oh, we're communicating, we're talking, So exciting.
It is amazing to watch a 4-month-old grouping their body to make it a little bit easier for you to pick them up.
Just because she knew, I told her, and she knew that's what's going on. That's the very beginning of cooperation. Together we're doing this, not just me doing it to you, together we're doing it. And it's about language development. They're hearing more words. They're seeing you make the words. The words are in context. We learn language in context. We learn bye-bye at the door because that's where mommy goes to work and we say bye-bye. That's how we learn the words. So if I'm talking to you about the diaper change, I'm not talking to you about, the cows say moo and chickens say bok. I'm talking to you about the diaper change. And so you're learning words like I'm pulling this open. Oh, I see what that means. Open. I see. Or I know what pull means. They're learning those words in context about what's happening, in real life at the time. And for the parents, it's so valuable because it keeps you present. It keeps you about what's happening now, because I'm talking about what's happening now. It's harder for me to also think about, what am I making for dinner? And I have to make an email. I'm here with you right now, and it keeps me present to say what's happening. You know, yeah. So it's a really valuable thing to be doing from day one, honestly.
And this presence and connection will be the key for future cooperation, because as much as we want our children to be independent and authentic and really voice their opinion, we also want them to be cooperative sometimes. But this is the only way they can learn and enjoy cooperation with us.
That's so great. So on the note of cooperation, so we're telling them what we're doing. So we're demonstrating respect by giving the baby our full attention during these caregiving routines, that talking about it's going to help us. And we involve the baby in the routine. We want to make the baby an active participant in their care rather than a passive recipient. It's not that just things just happen to you, they happen with you, right? And gradually, as we're connecting, I'm present, I'm here with you right now, we're communicating, I'm talking to you, I'm telling you what's going to happen, then I'm asking for cooperation, and you start to help. You start to do a little bit more of it on your own. Can you lift your legs so I can put this diaper underneath? Hey, and maybe today you can't. Can you lift your legs up so I can put your, no. I give you a second to try. No, okay, I'm gonna lift them up. I'll slide this underneath. And then, tomorrow I'm doing another diaper change and I say, can you lift your legs up? And I give you that time. I go slowly. And up go the legs, and you're helping with your own diaper change. And that's what we're looking for all along. Like, gradually you'll be able to take care of, all your bathroom needs on your own, because we're starting at a very early age. You're cooperating, you're taking over, you're responsible for your body. You're part of the team that takes care of you. You're a big part, and you become a bigger part as you can take care of more things and cooperate more. And that's how we come to that word educaring. Educaring was a word that Magda coined because she believed that you can't help but educate while you care for someone, right? Babies get between 5,000 and 7,000 diaper changes in their lifetime. If I did anything to you 5,000 times, you're going to learn something, right?
Yes.
You're going to learn.
You can learn different things.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Depending on how I do it, you're going to learn about me, about how I may interact with you, about what you can expect from me, what is expected of you in these situations. So much stuff. Or also how many buttons are on your onesie, 1, 2, 3. But also, who you are. Are you a partner? Are you, or are you just supposed to be passive and not engage? This is a time to shut down. You learn different things depending on how you are cared for. So we encourage these caregiving routines to be quality time, right? Cooperative time together. Wouldn't it be nice if I was going to do something to you 5,000 times if we were enjoying ourselves together? Wouldn't that be nice?
Absolutely.
And then it's this kind of care where our time is quality time, where we're enjoying ourselves, where we're, connected, that make it easier to separate when we need to, right? It's only through connecting and knowing my needs will be met in this positive way that I'm willing to step away from you and let you go when it's time for that.
Yeah,
So,
and play independently.
yeah. Yeah. And that's not to say all 7,000 of those diaper changes are going to be beautiful quality moments. They are not. There were many 2 a.m. diaper changes where I was like halfway through and I forgot to even say any. Oh, hi, sorry, I'm changing your diaper. I'm halfway through. I love you very much. Let's go back to sleep. They weren't all super bonding, but they are great, really. I know I'm crazy, but I love diaper changes. I have inside jokes with kids because we go and do diaper changes together, and they've just developed. It's just happened. It's really a beautiful time. Can be, and hopefully it should be, because like you said, we're going to move on to have that quality time, and then I can step away and you can play independently with time to explore and see on your own. I'm not going to micromanage this time. You're going to play in however you see fit, but that self-initiated play, right? And this to me is the thing that sets the RIE philosophy apart from so many other philosophies. And it's it's a win-win for the baby and for the adult, because you've gotten your needs as an infant, you've gotten your needs filled up, and you've had that quality time, and then you get to do what you want to do. Whatever you're interested in, you get to explore, right? You get to do
Yes.
all that great stuff. And then the adult can choose to sensitively observe you and the wonderful things that you're doing and get to know you better. Or they can choose to have once nothing time where they hang out and kind of follow your lead and play with you and see what happens, and have playtime, because we want to play with our kids too. We don't want to just only do diaper changes and nothing else. We can have once nothing time. I don't have an agenda. What do you want to do, little guy? Or we can step away and this child can have uninterrupted independent playtime, and I can go make dinner. That is genius. It is brilliant, because I can't be present and focused and 100% of the time with that baby. I just can't.
Yes, it is impossible, but many parents believe that they do have to be 100% present in order to be a good parent.
Yeah.
It's not true.
You can't maintain it.
You can't maintain it. It's a very unreasonable expectation of yourself.
Yes. You need to be able to step away. And that child needs to step away from you too and do something. I don't want to be held there while you're frying chicken. It's not safe. I don't like the smell. I can't move. I'm curious about stuff I can't touch. I don't want to be there in the kitchen while you're frying chicken, but we're going to eat. But you want to fry chicken. So I would much rather, as a child, an infant, be exploring this great big water thingy and see what it does, and then you can do your cooking without worrying about my little hands the whole time. It really is great. So also one of the key things that we focus on in RIE is we demonstrate respect by allowing for natural gross motor movement. So in RIE, we don't typically put children in positions they cannot get into or out of on their own. We don't sit them up before they can sit up on their own. We don't pull them to standing before they can stand on their own. We don't hold their fingers and help them walk before they can walk on their own. That's because for a few reasons. One of the reasons is because if I say, Kira, do this thing that you don't feel ready to do, then I'm saying what you're capable of is not good enough. Don't listen to your body. Don't pay attention to how you feel about it, and go ahead and do what you don't feel comfortable with. And these messages are not what we want to promote. We want, when you're ready on your own, in your own way, and in your own time, Kira, you do that thing. Because
it goes back to what you start with when we talk about when you talk about how we hope the children can be authentic, and we allow them to be authentic. But how we allow them to be authentic? Here you go. When we allow the natural gross motor development, when we're not trying to teach the baby to walk, or not placing them on a climbing structure because the climbing structure looked pretty cool, and we hope our child to climb it faster.
Right. And by putting them up there, I took away all the information that they're going to get in the journey to get up there, and all the self-confidence they would build on, like, oh, I tried it and I failed. Oh, I tried it and I failed. Oh, I tried it again and I did it. And that was just me doing it. I didn't need somebody else to help me do it. I did it. That's all confidence building. Wonderful stuff. And like, sometimes we're not even getting accurate information. Like, if I hold your hands to walk, nobody walks like this. And walking is all about shifting your center of gravity and balancing on one foot and lifting it and stepping on the other foot and balancing and shifting. And this is not even the accurate information for that, move. So I'm not really helping as much as I think I am, as I wanted to, as I was trying to, So typically, especially if you go to an in-person RIE class, what you'll see is we'll lay the babies down on their backs, and we'll let them roll over when they're ready, and we'll encourage, we'll sit back and wait for them to sit up when they're ready and become mobile when they're ready, is kind of the idea behind the gross motor development. Again, this is one of the things we could talk about forever, Kira. We're just giving a nutshell.
A little bit about gross motor development.
But this is things that you would go into deeply if you were in a class. So before I go on to this slide, I do also want to say something about, I said we typically don't sit up a child, we typically don't pull them to standing, we typically don't help them walk. That being said, there are no hard, fast rules in RIE. If you have sat your child up, if you have pulled your child to standing, you're not kicked out of RIE. You're not like you can't come to class. So, I can think of good reasons why I might sit a child up before they were ready. If I had a child with severe reflux, I might consider that as an option. If it made them feel more comfortable, I might explore other options, but I might consider that as an option. And even if it's just because you did, that's fine too. There are no hard rules about RIE. We can often get a bad rap about, RIE won't let you do this, or RIE doesn't let you do that. We have things we've thought about that we recommend, but there's no hard and fast rules. We know how complex it is to care for children. And we understand when you make the choices for your child, because especially for your child, no one knows your child like you do. No one knows that your relationship, your situation like you do, and you are the experts. We will just talk about some stuff that we know about.
Hopefully you'll take some ideas for consideration, and maybe not the others, and that's okay too.
Absolutely. I just wanted to say that when we were talking about, we don't do this in RIE.
Yes.
I don't want to get into that strict crabbiness. Let's see. So we demonstrate trust or respect by trusting in the child's confidence. It's so important to, when you look at that little person in that lower right hand picture, I just so want to help her. Don't you want to help her? I mean, she's trying to put a triangle block in a square spot.
Yeah.
You
I
and
think it's almost easier to trust when they are younger and they, kind of randomly manipulating the objects. And I purposely choose these two pictures because, okay, I trust you, I observe you, I'm slow, I'm present, and now you're trying to put the puzzle together. Oh my goodness, how I push my urges to teach and to show and to be useful, and continue slowing down and allow that discovery to happen.
Because we're not afraid she's never going to figure that out, right? So if I back off and I let her do it, she's going to learn so much more about what a triangle is and where it goes and the dimensions of that block and the shapes and her persistence, her willing to persist, her frustration level, how she deals with frustration. The best, she could decide to take a break and not do this right now. She could decide it's not that important, or she could keep working on it. These are all great things that if I go in there and I go, oh, honey, it goes down here in this one like that. See, I just ruined it all. I just took it all away. Right. Yeah. So we're going to wait and know that they're doing what's right for them in this moment of time. We wanted to talk about a little bit, give everybody just a little bit of history about this. This is a picture of Magda Gerber. She grew up in Budapest, Hungary, and she was married at 18. Then shortly after that, she became a mother, and had all the doubts and questions as all mothers do. And Kira, do you want to tell the story about how she met Emmy Pickler?
Yes. And Magda Gerber was not planning to do any kind of child development or change everybody's life. She was happy as a mother and as a wife. And one day, one of her daughter got sick, and they have to call the pediatrician. It's a sore throat. Her regular pediatrician was not able to come. So Emmy Pickler came to her house. Dr. Emmy Pickler was known as a very good pediatrician. She knows all about child's health and everything. But besides this, she was also known as a person who show huge respect to young children. And think about it, it was many years ago. I don't know now if many doctors would ask children to describe their health issue, or would they talk to parents? I know many doctors would still choose to talk to parents. This is not what Emmy Pickler did. When Magda Gerber rushed to open the door for her, she kind of moved her aside and she said, I'm going to talk to your daughter. That was a huge, surprising moment for Magda Gerber. And she just stood there and observed how Emmy Pickler communicated with her daughter. Emmy Pickler said, well, I do need to look in your throat. I'm not going to use the tongue presser if you can open your mouth wide enough. And Magda Gerber's daughter was able to do that. So eventually, Emmy Pickler and Magda Gerber become a very good friends. And Magda Gerber decided to study child development. They done many projects together there in Hungary. Before Magda Gerber emigrate to United States and start RIE organization. They have a long journey together.
That was how it all started.
And continue being friends even when they move in different countries. Yeah.
I love that story. It's such a good story. when this video is sent to you, you also received a link for Seeing Infants with New Eyes, and you will get to hear and see Magda on the video, and it's a wonderful introduction to the philosophy, and can give you even more information if about this whole philosophy. Is a really great video.
Beautiful, beautiful, magical video. I hope you will find a minute to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next steps, if you are interested in enrolling in a parent-infant guidance class, either online or in person, then you have those videos that you can watch that explain what those classes are. And then you can attend a 30-minute live Q&A that happens every week, where you get to talk to a RIE trained associate for 30 minutes and ask your questions, because we only, hit the tip of the iceberg here. So if something is interesting to you, please go ahead and talk to an associate about it. And then you can contact somebody at classinfo@rie.org to sign up for classes. And then you'll do a little back and forth with the program director, and they will let you know what classes are available for your developmental range of your child, at what times, in what venue, online or in person. And then again, there's the link for Seeing Infants with New Eyes, which you probably received in your email. So thank you, and we encourage you to continue looking into RIE and using it for your parenting, because it really is life-changing and has been incredibly valuable for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.